Good morning, crew. Good morning to you. Good morning, crew. It's all I can do but say good morning to you. Good morning, crew. Okay. Take a few minutes and say hello to each other. Say hello to each other. Say hello to your little friends. Good morning. You know, just when you think, let's see, hold on. Just when you think all new ideas are not necessarily new. Did you know that, Derek? Just because we think it's new, nerdy does not mean by any means that it's new. Some of us think Cybertruck stuff is new. Some of us know better. I wonder where Elon Musk got the idea for his Cybertruck. Where did the design idea come from? Things that make you go, I don't even think that's wooden. I think that's like metal. Things that make you go, what do you think about that? Good morning, Rick. Right? Mad Max. So just when you're wanting to give Elon Musk a whole bunch of credit, it's not political. Don't go political on me. It's just simply a car design. I never liked that design. I never liked it was. Right? A coal hauler. Never liked this design. I'm sorry. Of course I would drive one just for a minute, but I don't need that in my driveway. Everyone driving down the road has to stop and stare at you. No. No. I already got that back when I had my Mini Cooper. Let's look at one more thing together. You goofballs. Where is it? Well, let me figure it out. I'll be right there. Okay, here we are. Let's enjoy ourselves for just a moment and let's pretend we're wearing this. Get the dinosaur off the couch. Oh. Oh. So he's having fun. Okay, there's nothing wrong with that. Actually, two people are having fun. kind of how dinosaurs went extinct. Sort of how dinosaurs went extinct, I think. That's the beginning of the extinction of dinosaurs. I can't even begin to tell you. I shared this with Waz. Good morning. Good morning. I'm wearing a hat for the second day in a row because my hair is too long. I have to get it cut. I'm getting it cut this weekend, I promise myself. I was sharing that with Waz. And then we started this texting back and forth. I tell you what, every time I get involved in something like that with Waz, I don't have to worry about doing stomach crunches for like 2 or 3 days. My stomach and all the muscles in here hurt so bad from laughing. And it made me think after we were through yesterday, I was like, boy, are we lucky to have friends. I didn't have friends like that before I started being a goofball. And lasting friends, we tell each other the truth kind of stuff. And I have a lot of you. We just do this stuff to let each other know we're out there. It's a pretty beautiful thing. Okay? All the best friends are from T, right, Nerdy? It's just, we're lucky we put this thing together and found a way to find people. There's a lot of lonely people. We don't have to be lonely in the morning. We just got to show up and say hi to each other. And it's a beautiful thing. So I got to thinking about that after I was dying of laughter. You guys don't want to necessarily hear all of our jokes because I guarantee you some of them were for an over 21 audience. Something about petrified boners. Were we talking, did we mention something, because it's a dinosaur bone, and we mentioned something about petrified wood? I forget. Something about... Oh, stop it, Pops. Okay. We were talking and we mentioned something about, I'm going to start up again. Yeah, it was, we went into the whole idea of stuff being petrified. And, oh, good morning, everybody. Good morning. Paleontologist pickup line. That's right, Waz. That's right. You're so stupid. That's right. I'm not going to tell you the paleontologist pickup line, okay, unless you guys want to hear it. Who wants to hear the paleontologist pickup line? I got to go get it. Hold on. Wait. Oh, Waz, you're so... Oh, I don't mean you're dumb, but you're dumb. Okay? Wait. Wazzy. No, you didn't. Okay, here it is. Here, wait. You meet a girl at the bar, right? Or somewhere. Hey, baby, I'm a paleontologist. I have a petrified boner. That's Waz's pickup line. Wazzy. And then he said, hey, baby, you want to go for a ride on my dinosaur? What's that mean? I don't get it. What are you talking about? Good morning, everybody. Oh, Waz, stop it. I don't. Now we're catcalling. Now we're being creepy men that we don't want to be. So dumb. Stop it. We're not going to be those guys, okay? Good morning. I hope a bunch of you came late so you didn't have to pay attention to what we were talking about right now. Great stuff. Thank you, Waz. How fun it is to have friends and fun. How fun it is to have friends and fun. Give me 5 people that agree with that statement. Just 5 is all I need that agree with that statement. Good statement. How fun it is to have friends and fun. I love fun friends, right, Kimberly? We can be fun. Let's do this. Let's get going. You ready? The hardest general knowledge, true or false quiz you will ever take. Okay, Niffy? The hardest you will ever take. I'm going to ask 4 questions. I'm going to make 4 statements. First 3 people to get the 4 statements correct, whether they're true or false, put it all on one line at one time. It's the hardest general knowledge, true or false quiz you'll ever take. Whatever. They're not that hard. Okay, let's get started. Here we go. 4 of them. I'm going to read 4 statements, and you're going to tell me. Okay? Is it true or is it false? Number 1, blue eyes are newer to the human race than pottery. True or false? Number 2, 50 Cent and Charlie Chaplin were alive at the same time. True or false? Number 3, trees existed before sharks. True or false? Number 4, Michigan is larger than Great Britain. True or false? Go. What are your answers? Should have 4 of them. I have the 3. The first 3 on my sheet, on my screen, that had all 4 correct. I'll tell you who it is after I read you the answers. First one, blue eyes are newer to the human race than pottery. Well, by golly, it's true. A 2008 study traced the gene for blue eyes to a person who lived 10,000 years ago. Some of the oldest pieces of pottery date back to 20,000 years ago. We were a bunch of brown eyes for that 10,000 year of pottery time. And then, boop, our eyes turned blue. So the answer on that one, true. 50 Cent and Charlie Chaplin were alive at the same time. True. Charlie Chaplin died when 50 Cent was about 2.5 years old. So they were both alive at the same time. True. Trees existed before sharks. False. The earliest shark fossil dates back to 420 million years ago. 420 million years ago. The first trees appeared on Earth about 408 million years ago. Sharks are older than trees. So that one was false. And then finally, Michigan is larger than Great Britain. And the answer on that one is true. Is true. Just sort of give you a little picture here. Okay. Michigan, Great Britain. And landmass-wise, Michigan's actually bigger than Great Britain. Boop. So the answers were true, true, false, true. Okay? So here we go. Number one, Brian C. Number 1, Brian C. Number 2, HB. Number 2, HB. And number 3, 4-leaf. 4-leaf. Okay? Those were the first 3 on my screen. So here we go. Number 1, Brian C. Brian C. Good job, Brian. Listen, Brian, I'm going to give you a choice. I'm going to give you a choice. You can pick one of 2 things. Send me your address. And when you do send me your address, when you do send me that address, I want you to tell me I want the 1 vial and a little bit of supplement, or I want the 2 vial. So this is a vial. This is the glycerin tincture with a few supplements. And then we're also going to be sending out, this one's going to be the glycerin and the double tincture. So you could have 2 different tinctures to try. So you could pick package number 1 or package number 2. Just be clear when you send me your mailing instructions. I haven't filled this up yet. We're going to do that today right here live. And then have this ready to go. And we have a couple ready to go to the people from yesterday. Okay? So Brian C is going to decide which one he wants. Who wants to do that again? Who wants to do that again? Let's do just 3 questions this time. Brian C won that one. I gotta put your name down. Should we do that one more time? Santa, will somebody tell Santa my email address, please? Check it. Check Herbie's feed here. Herbie will probably be the first to tell it. Please, somebody tell Santa my email address. Thank you. It's the DetroitMushLab.net. That's the website. Scroll to the bottom of that. You can send me an email from there. The DetroitMushLab.net. Okay? Let's do 3 questions this time. 3 questions. And I'm going to take the top 3 people and move them forward to the spin to win round. Excuse me. Let's go, Melody. Cumulus clouds. Cumulus clouds weigh anywhere from 15 to 30 pounds. Number 2, there are 14 bones in the human body. Excuse me, in the human foot. Human foot. 14 bones in the human foot. And thirdly, the population of California is larger than the entire population of Canada. Go. Okay, we got it. I have 3 that had it all 3 correct. The first 3 on my screens. Number 1, cumulus clouds weigh anywhere from 15 to 30 pounds. False. Cumulus clouds can weigh more than 1,000,000 pounds. 30 pounds. Come on, you guys. 30 pounds a cloud? It's got to be full of water, right? 1,000,000 pounds. False. Number 2, there are 14 bones in a human foot. False. There are 28. Double it. There are 28 in each foot. Each. And then finally, California, the population of California is larger than the entire population of Canada. Turns out that's false. California has an estimated population of 39 million. No, I'm sorry. Turns out it's true. My bad. It turns out it's true. True. And I did count it as a true. Okay? It's a true. California has 39 million. Canada has 37 million. True. So the answers were false, true. False, true. Okay? The first person on my screen to get it correct, let's not be surprised. Let's not be surprised when we find out that it was Paige. Paige, number 1. Green Table, you're number 2, Greenie. And Sky Killy. Haven't seen Sky Killy win anything here before. As a matter of fact, I think I'm just going to do this. Boom! It lands on Sky Killy. Sky Killy it is. Nice spin, okay? Sky Killy, okay? We tend to, Paige has received something once in a while. Paige, you're wonderful. And Greenie, I'm waiting for an address from you, am I not? For something else. So, Sky Killy, way to kill it, Sky. You made that one happen. So, congratulations. Sky Killy. Send me your address at the DetroitMushLab.net. Scroll to the bottom. There's a way to reach me via email. And when you do, tell me if you want the package that includes 1 tincture and some supplements or the 2 tincture package. You decide. You're going shopping, buddy. Okay? We'll do one more before we go away today. That's beautiful, Paige. So you don't mind that I did the manual spin? Mr. Manual Spin. Melody, I think I would too. I would try them both. It'd be fun to have them both so you could try them. Am I right? Okay, tincture time. Let's look at this together. That's the word of the day. Spagyrics. It's pretty close to spaghetti, but it's not. Spagyrics. What the heck, nerdy, is going on around here? Okay? Spagyrics. We'll do another tour of false before we go. But check this out. That's how it's spelled, just in case you guys were wondering. And then you're also going to wonder, what the heck is it? I've never done this before. I've never done this one before, Sanam. So it's going to be an interesting process. We're going to read about this one today, and we're going to actually make it next week, because I believe I'm going to need the pulp from what I'm going to do today. I'll use that pulp, and that'll help make the spagyric. Okay? So are we ready for this one? You haven't figured that part out yet, nerdy? That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. I really fell in love with spagyrics when I first heard Saja Popham talking about the alchemical process of making a plant through spagyric work. Understanding how the process was to consciously help the plant move through its evolution, helping it reach its most perfected form, absolutely blew my mind. I believe, just like ourselves in our own psychology, we move through processes of calcination, dissolution, filtration, and evaporation. Good morning, Nut Tree. These alchemical processes help and evolve us into more perfect versions of ourselves. This is what the spagyric work is doing, moving the plant through the alchemical processes, helping it to overcome its challenges, helping it to remove from itself what doesn't serve it, so that it can best live out its truth. Now, just reading that makes you want to do it. Give me 5 people that agree. We're going to learn the alchemical process of bringing the plant through its complete evolution. The fungus. Just reading that, Niffer, like I feel like we're ready to go, okay? I'm going to read a little bit more. Spagyrics really began to get popularized around the 16th century when a man named Paracelsus pioneered the alchemic work. However, the history of spagyria is quite extensive, dating back to Egypt, where it was believed that the god Thoth created writing, all sciences, and medicine. He was believed to create a form of understanding called Hermeticism, which is where a lot of alchemic ideology stems from, which is where a lot of Paracelsian and alchemical logic comes from. Through the Hermetic and alchemic lens, everything manifests from one source. I got goosebumps. They call this source, the alchemists call this source prima materia. Prima materia. From the prima materia, it then splits into 2. Celestial salt and celestial niter. These comprise what we would refer to as the masculine and feminine energies, or active and receptive qualities. From the alchemical salt and celestial niter, we get fixed and volatile components, which the alchemist and spagyrists understood as earth and water, those were the fixed, and air and fire, those were the volatile. These 4 elements give birth to salt, mercury, and sulfur. Salt being earth and water, mercury being water and air, and sulfur being air and water. Is this interesting? Give me 5 people that aren't bored. There's another couple of paragraphs here. This is the history of spagyria. And it's pretty great, because we're going to concentrate on this in a really spiritual way as we're making this next week. I'm going to be making it, but I want to be in the right mindset, understanding some of the history of this rather than just going through the motions. Let's do this. The philosophical principles. Salt, mercury, and sulfur were understood to be contained in everything. Spagyria is a pre-scientific art and works mostly with archetypes and metaphors. So when we speak about salt, mercury, and sulfur, don't mistake these for their chemical elements. The salt corresponds to the body of a thing. For herbal pharmacopoeia, we would understand salt as the body of the plant, and its mineral salts the plant contains. Mercury is the spirit of a thing, that which animates the organism. In plants, the mercury is the alcohol content the plant contains when it is fermented. This is also why we call alcohol spirits. Ooh, didn't know that one. Sulfur is the soul, its purpose, its truth, what it's supposed to live out. For the plant, this corresponds to its phytochemical constituents, its volatile oils, which the alchemists call volatile sulfur. And it's a more dense constituent, which they referred to as fixed sulfur. The spagyric process utilizes the alchemic procedure of calcination, dissolution, filtration, and evaporation to separate the salt, mercury, and sulfur from the plant. Doesn't it, Higgs? So it's not the actual chemical, but these constituents that the alchemists, by context, applies to the plant or to the, in our case, the fungus. We purify these components, working them through their phases of evolution until they are fully exalted in their truth. I love that. That's exactly what we're doing when we're making our tinctures. And then there's one step left that we could be taking for the final purification, the spagyric part. But what we're really doing is we're extracting the parts of the plant that are the most important part, the part that serves us in a medicinal way. We then recombine all the components together, making the plant whole again, creating the spagyric tincture. Anybody want to see us do this next week? Should we be doing this next week? There are many reasons why we would use a tincture over a tea. You can get dosing so much more exact. Understanding how to extract specific constituents in the plant is more precise. And the tincturing process allows the shelf life to last years. But why the spagyric over a tincture? When taking a regular tincture, it is believed that the body has to combine these phytochemicals with other cofactors to make them bioavailable for metabolizing. The body will take digestive acids, mineral salts, and biosynthesis with the phytochemicals to create an esterification process so that the phytochemicals can be absorbed and metabolized. This ultimately uses a lot of materials and components from the body, and it uses a lot of energy. And the phytochemicals lose some of their bioavailability. In sphagyria, when the tincture is done, and we strain it through that leftover herb, and we incinerate it, take those ashes and move it through the process of calcination, leaching, and harvesting, the potassium carbonate that is contained in there, it is believed these mineral salts introduced back into the esterification process allow for the wonderful phytochemicals to be more potent and more bioavailable. The process is believed to make the medicine stronger and more readily available to the body. There's more in the jar, and you don't have to use as much as your body to help what's in the jar get going. Because the medicines are more bioavailable, you don't need as much as you would with a regular tincture. The alchemic work has such profound applicability in creating fabulous offerings for ourselves and for our community. Amongst the many things I love about this work is that it provides a rich tradition. That's part I think Nerdy and I are going to like a lot. The rich tradition. I'll feel very indigenous when I'm doing this. Rich tradition into how we can deeply touch the land and learn how this land also touches and transforms us back, helping us to learn truths. Next week, we're going to get the stuff all ready. We're going to get it dried out over the weekend. Next week, we're going to do a spagyric together. Okay? And in the meantime, let's get our double tincture done for today. Okay? Let's see what we can show you. So this is the alcohol-based tincture, vodka-based, and we had already yesterday taken all of the pulp out, and you can still see that little bit of sediment down there. The sediment, they say, is not a bad thing at all. We're going to do a little straining, but not a ton of it. But this sediment, later on, we're going to take it, and that's going to become part of our spagyrics. Okay? Yesterday, if you notice, if you remember, we put the pulp in here, along with a little bit other dry, some of the dry, and the pulp on top, and then we added just water. This is what it looks like after 24-hour heat bath at about 128, 130 degrees. Just water. The old pulp and the new pulp. So what we want to do is get this pulp out first. That's going to be our first move. Okay? And save the liquid. Boy, does that smell like mushrooms. Woo! Alrighty. Now we're going to take this pulp and we're going to save it. This is going to be for our process for next week. Between now and next week, I want to take this pulp and I'm going to dry it out. I'm going to get this pulp dry. You can take it and spread it out and just let it dry slowly over the course of a couple of days on a cookie sheet. You can dehydrate it at a low temperature, or you can do a quick thing that Pops is going to do. And I'm going to actually freeze dry this stuff, get all of the liquid out of it completely. Get this down to a freeze dry place to where you can literally light this on fire. So we'll revisit this stuff next week, right? Now we have two different tinctures. We have the alcohol-based one and we have the water-based one. Okay? And most recipes say you put in 1/3 the amount of alcohol as you do water. 3 to 1. 3 to 1. So let's try, because Pops never listens, because he's a rebel at heart, we're going to do 2 to 1. Okay? We're just going to make it 2 to 1. Meaning, if I put in, I've got to put in 200 milliliters of alcohol-based, and then I'm going to put in another 400 milliliters of water-based, so I should end up with 600 milliliters total. I'm also going to just try this filter a little bit. Okay. A little long there because of the filter, but that's okay. All right. So that stuff's looking really nice in there. And believe it or not, there wasn't much in the filter. That's because I think it's really most of it's down there at the bottom still. I'm going to get that out, and I'm going to add that to the spagyric to dry it. Now, let's add the water. Looking good. As you can see, this one's got a lot more sediment in it. But I really hadn't let that one settle either. Single extract, double extract, and then we'll get the spagyric going later next week. What do you think? Pretty easy, huh? Cool? Give me 5 people that think that's all there is to it. We're gonna have to get bigger tincture things so we can send more out at one time. Yeah, that's it. We just made a double extract tincture. I feel like a nerd. Not you, nerdy, but I feel like a nerd. We do a little bit of straining there, and then we've got this disgusting looking, but the spagyric, it's going to be really neat. We are nerds, aren't we, nerdy? We've got this stuff that we're going to reintroduce. We're going to get this back down to its alchemical forms. Okay? I agree with you, Greenie. We're going to get this back down to its alchemical basic forms. And then we're going to add that to a tincture. And we're going to be kind of special because I don't think a lot of people out there are doing that right this minute. And we'll be getting that out to you guys too. Huh? That was fascinating. This whole spagyric thing is going to be really fun. What's the dosage look like? Start with, they recommend, generally speaking, with the tincture, start with one eye drop per full underneath your tongue, sublingual, and see, measure the impact and the effects. Remember, with the tincture, you're not looking to get high. It's the same thing as doing microdose, but it's a faster actor. And if people have stomach issues or anything like that, a tincture is a really good delivery system. Okay, John's at 1 does wonders for me. It's all I need, you know? So that's what it's. Don't do a shot glass, Billy D. Who thought of that? Who would have ever done that? Who's ever done a shot glass of this stuff? Okay? It's not like white lightning. You pass it around, everybody gets a sip. No, Anthony, that's not what we do with it. This is medicine, okay? Whatever happened to your own alcohol robot Tin Man looking thing you have? I'm not sure. I'm not sure what we're talking about right now. Okay. I really am not sure, but I'll try to figure that out because Jesus, I love you. Let's do our final reading for no. Let's do a giveaway. Let's do one more giveaway, and then we're gonna do our final reading for today. I have a little bit of business to take care of, so we're not gonna run super long today. Oh, my distillation. Oh, the whole robot. Oh, I know what you're talking about. I have that. I have my distillation rig. It's downstairs. Yeah, I still have that whole distillation rig. That thing is cool. It's cool, but it takes a lot to run it. Takes a lot. I've only run 2 batches of stuff through it, and I don't think either one was worth. I mean, I'm definitely not a brewer yet. I would have to get into it like I got into Shrooms, and then I'd become like I'd have an OCD. But I just don't see my making microbrew as healthy for other people as my farming mushrooms. I think farming mushrooms for me gives me more impact in the way I want it to be. Does that make sense? Yeah, I have it, JC. Okay, let's do 3 more true or false. Okay? Let's do 3 more true or false. And we're gonna get a winner. So far we got Brian C. and Sky Killy. They'll be sending me addresses. Okay? And they're gonna be telling me, do they want the 2 tincture package or the 1 tincture with supplement package? Okay? You know what, Sanam, I feel like the changes that they're making on IG may be a little advantageous to us, but I've purposed I won't show any more mushrooms on there. I used to be able to, I would show mushrooms, I would show it in a bag, I'd show it in my hand, I'd show this, not selling it there, but I'm not even gonna show a mushroom because it's the only thing I can think that they can keep getting me for if I show a mushroom. So no shrooms on my site anymore, and it sucks because it'd be really nice to be able to share that. Not for any other reason than to show people what they can do. But I just purposed I'm not going to show another picture of a shroom, a bag of shrooms, slow motion, anything like that. I have to stick with. You can see a jar in my laboratory. Like, take a picture of the flow hood. Okay. I'm scared to even show a picture of a syringe. Right? Because they're out there. They're in the bushes waiting for me to make a move. Because I'm on a watch list somewhere. I'm on a watch list. Okay. Trust me, you don't want to be on watch lists. It's not cool. Okay, what happened to my site? We're almost ready here. Give me a second. Okay. Thank you, Aaron. We're going to do 3 statements here, okay? We're going to do 3 statements. And the first 3 people on my screen that have the 3 statements correct, carnivorous, that's the only watch list I want to be on, okay? And that I don't mind. I'm going to make 3 statements. You're going to tell me if they're true or false. The world's population tripled in the last 50 years. True or false? Number 2. 2 12-inch pizzas have more pizza than a 17-inch pizza. True or false? And number 3. Hot and cold water sound the same when you pour them. True or false? Go. What are the answers? This was a fun one. Okay, I have 3 correct people. I'll tell you who they were after I tell you the answers. The world's population tripled in the last 50 years. False. It has doubled in the last 50 years. We're up to a little over 7 billion people. So we didn't triple, but we doubled. Next one. 2 12-inch pizzas have more pizza than a 17-inch pizza. This one freaks me out. That's false. 2 12-inch pizzas are 1 square inch smaller than a 17-inch pizza. How did they do that to us? Seriously, how did they do that? A 17-incher versus 2 smalls. You're getting more. That's a false. Very few of you got that right, and I wouldn't have. Okay? In prison math. Hot and cold water sound the same when you pour them. True or false? False. They actually sound different because hot water has a higher viscosity than cold water. 3 falses in a row were the correct answer. FFF. The first 3 on my screen to FFF correctly were carnivorous. Carnivorous, you're number 1. Hags, my man Hags, snapping in at number 2. And Scotty B. Scotty B, don't mess around. Scotty B knows his stuff. Scotty B's number 3. Okay? So here we go. Whoops. Come on, Pops. You can't even spin. There it is. Carnivorous. Carnivorous, you're reminding me of the prehistoric boner, dare I say? No, stop it, Pops. Carnivorous, I need an address from you. When you send me your address, you're going to also say, Pops, I want 1 tincture and some supplementals, or I want 2 tinctures. Okay? You're going to tell me which one you want, and boop, we'll be sending that off to you in the next day. So Carnivorous, get me that address with a little side information, and you will be getting whichever one you choose. I like true and false. Give me 5 people that like us playing true or false. Moms is here this morning? Gosh, I love my moms. I love mom, but I love moms too. Do you think that's the reason why I'm hearing you guys say the reason is because on the 17-inch or the 12 inches there's a lot of crust? Is that the reason? I never thought of that, but it makes sense. I want to read you something super duper 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 super duper cute, but thought inducing. And then I'm going to read one more thing to you. And then I'm just going to hope you guys practice this weekend. Practice all the things we learn and do together here for an hour or so in the morning. We can carry that around to a bunch of other people. We can tell them stuff we learned. We can share with them. We can invite them. And we can just treat them like the beautiful souls that they are. Let's listen to what Walt Whitman said. I think I could turn and live with animals. They do not swear and whine about their condition. No one is dissatisfied. I think I could live with the animals. Not a lot of complainers out there. Not a lot of dissatisfaction. They don't sweat and whine about their condition. They really don't. Think about it. I just live. Whatever their condition is, I saw one the other day. Little bird. Little bird. It must have had a broken wing. It's missing off. The little flapper wasn't working. He took along and flap, flap, flip, flap. I'm like, he's not complaining. He's still living. He's figured it out. He's eating. He's getting a worm. I felt sorry for him, but he wasn't feeling sorry for himself. Think about that. I'll give you another example, near and dear to my heart. I like people that don't feel sorry for themselves. They live the life they have. I'll give you a really good, close to me example. Brock. Sometimes I look at him and I feel sorry for him. His own dad. He doesn't have 1 ounce of feel sorry for me in him. Doesn't. He just lives what he is. Does more than anybody could possibly do with what he's got. That's why he's such a strong character. That's why I stopped requiring more from him. I used to require more. You got to do better. You got to be richer. You got to get education. You got to do this. You just got to live, bro. And he's doing that. He's a little bird. He's a little bird. And it hasn't been easy. But he doesn't know it. It's just what he's got. Thanks for letting me say that out loud. I get proud of him. I don't feel sorry for him. It was a very small thing. It was a very small thing watching a robin carry a twig too big. Well, think about me too back there. I'm a 21, 22-year-old kid. Marine! And I have a child that's going to need 20 surgeries. And he'll never be the middle linebacker my son. Just so much emotional trauma and drama from having those challenges in your life. Talk about acceptance. Talk about the universe is going to force some acceptance on you. Both of us. Both of us. Here's some acceptance right here. It was a very small thing. Watching a robin carry a twig too big for its nest. It tried once, then twice to use it. And somehow, with its very small bird brain, it knew it was no good. It simply flew off and picked another. I went and found the twig. There wasn't a mark on it. I rolled it in my hand and I thought of all the times I've labored trying to make things too big fit. So often what we want is like that twig. Too big to be of any use. And we stay lodged in an unhappiness created by holding on to something that cannot complete our nest. It was humbling to watch a small bird work, singing as it went, leaving what it couldn't use just like it found it. If we could only treat each other with such simple kindness. He doesn't hold on to anything he can't use. His nature figured that out a long time ago. One more reading. Isn't that beautiful, Granny? That little bird? Boop. This one won't work. That's okay. I'll go get another one. That one won't work either. I'll get a string this time and tie my whole nest together. Just boop, 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 beep, beep. That won't work. This one does. Wind came through. That's okay. Making my nest. Babies are coming. Never complained. Never said, damn stick. Never threw the stick at another bird. Never tried to stab anybody with it. Never stole another bird's stick. Just one got his own. It's adorable. In a burst of oneness. I'm going to read one more reading. One more reading. This is really nice. But give me 5 people. You know that was a good one. You're going to remember the little bird today. Don't worry about the stick that doesn't fit you guys. Just go get another one. Just go get another one. And don't throw a fit because it didn't fit. When wax and wick work best, light and heat are all that's left. Like a candle, our wick of spirit is encased in our humanity. And when our spirit is touched, we light up until all we know melts and changes shape for the burn of our experience. Repeatedly, our sweat and struggle burns our sense of self and world away so that our divine spark can be released again and again. These moments of spirit lighting up not only rearrange our lives, but they light and warm those around us. They light and warm those around us. In such moments, we become one with what we see. And this sudden oneness is the faithful path to love. The illumination of oneness is love. All that's left is a willingness towards birth, growth, an urge to be touched by something timeless and fresh. All that's left is the want of your deeper parts to relish the waking over being awake, the burning over being burned, The loving over being loved. One more paragraph. When we can, no matter how briefly, be at one with what we have in common with all life, we are rewarded beyond attachment and ownership. The little bird, beyond all attachment, beyond all ownership. It's the difference between becoming a singer and becoming the song. This is the best of ambition, that the dancer melts into the dance and the lover melts into the act of love. The farmer, the fungi farmer, melts into the act of farming. The builder builds and melts into what he built. Until you burst into oneness, the dancer and the lover and the builder and the farmer, they're all one. Perhaps momentarily, when swimming with the stream, we might actually become part of that stream. When rocking the wounded, gosh, I got goosebumps. When rocking the wounded, we are the suffering. Perhaps momentarily, when thinking without masks, we are pure thought. When believing without doubt, we are God. Perhaps love is an instrument we play for all we're worth in an orchestra that's yet to be convened. Perhaps this is why in the fullest moment of loving or knowing or being, we go nameless. We go timeless. We get breathless. Everything about us gets used up. Like a candle, burned over and over, just to light an entire room with our flicker. Gosh, those beautiful readings. I don't need to add anything to them, except that bird's adorable. Recognize the stuff that doesn't fit and don't fight it. Light up every room you're in. Light it up because you're being who you are, not who the room thinks you're supposed to be. Go into every room and be the room. Have a great weekend. I'll see you guys here next week. 4 things we want to practice being impeccable. We will only do this. We only want to use words that are filled with love and goodness and kindness. They redound to our own brain. They program us. And then if we're always pure with our thoughts and not even our thoughts, but at least our words, our thoughts will line up. We'll build character. We've got that. We also don't take things personal. That's ego, that's pride, that's fear, that's death. We don't need to experience any of those things, but we choose. So we can choose not to. We don't also have to have any expectations. If you walk in the room and you be the room, there's no expectations. You're a room, you're in it. You be the room. And if you do that, you're doing your best. I will, Hags. Thank you guys for listening to me this week. Had a great week here. We did a lot of work. We did some mycology work. We'll do some spagyrics next week. And thanks for the love and the kindness all of you spend on me and my son. And I mean that. He is flourishing at the emotional and spiritual level in a place he never had before. And it's due to acceptance. He just gets to be himself. And he also doesn't have a dad that's putting a lot of shit on him anymore. I don't think. Have a great weekend, you guys. Talk to you soon. Badger. Hi, Badgie. And Michael Shanti Patterson and Derek Anderson. And Herbs. Herbie Von Werby Kabop and Sanum. And Exception. It's so nice to see you. Notorious. And Rodmond and Niffy. Have a nice weekend, dear. Hug Ava for me. Four Leaf, thank you. Nerdy, you too. Buddy Bud and Scotty B. Niffy and Paige. And Exceptionally Exceptional. And Glassic the Blassic. And Calico. Complete warrior. Greeny and Trenty and Moms. Anybody, but he warriors it from a different place. You know what I mean? He doesn't do it with spears and bows and arrows. Green Table and Trenty and Moms. Nice to see you here, my love. Four Leaf and Cleany and Green Table and Melody. Thank you, my love. I will. Rodman and Derek Anderson and Rick and Hags. Thank you, Hags. I love you very, very much. Mr. Phillips Exception and Jesus Christ in Australia. Michael Patterson, Anthony T. Love to see my man. Ducky Sauce and Jesus Christ and Cat Meowzilla and Tin Can and Pidgey Page. And Mike Baraball and Jesus Christ and HB and Cleany. Larry Barton. I'm glad you're here, Larry. Calico Mike and Carnivorous and Jimmy Max all the way to the max. Christopher Larson making it happen. Four Leaf Nippy. Thank you for doing that. Joe D's. Hi, Joe. And Nutty Tree. Nut Tree. Pops. See you guys next weekend. Practice a lot this weekend. Be a light.